by the water.
Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. Now look here. Brother them trying to figure out what to say to me because they know how I play. They know how I get down. They come with some bull crap, they gonna get beat. They come with some real mess, they gonna get beat. It is what it is. It's like a lose-lose for them. And I'm looking at them, and you know what I'm saying, and I'm keeping it calm. And then this is what I do. Let me tell you what I did to them. I'd already fixed me a meal, right? So I got me a chili with noodle, right? I got the chili with noodle with some cheese in it, and I love cheese, y'all. I love cheese, right? And it's some of that Kraft cheese, you know, the yellow type of cheese. And you know, when you get it in that noodle, right, and you got that chili and it's real hot, you can take that spoon. I used to like take my spoon and I dip in it and I hold it up, and that cheese and that noodle just fall off, and then that cheese will be hanging. And then I just take it and put it above my head, over my mouth, and then I let that cheese drop down in my mouth, man. Yeah, I get real nasty when I eat sometimes, y'all. And then look here, don't get to tripping with your imagination, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I said, man, bro, y'all want something to eat? And they both looked at me. I knew they couldn't eat. But see, that's what I was trying to drag it out. I wanted them to understand that you can't win in this. But I want to know why you're doing this. And let me tell you, this is what they told me, y'all. Listen to them now. This is what they told me. They said, bro, old heads like us, we got to stick together. See, they started trying to mac on me, right? They said, old heads like us got to stick together. And what we was trying to do, we was trying to make you understand, you know what I'm saying, that these young dudes that's coming in now, you got to keep them in their place. Got to keep them in their place. And you didn't seem to want to understand that. You didn't seem to want to listen. And the old heads, we supposed to have each other's back. And see, that's something that I wanted y'all to understand about being a part of the organization, particularly this type of organization, where you got a lot of cliques that are formed inside these organizations. And I never was with that. Yeah, I had my circle. But not one brother that was on count could ever say that I denied them anything that I gave to anybody else. If you came to me and you needed something, you got it. But I'm not going to let you take advantage of me. And see, these brothers, they wanted to put me in their hip pocket because they didn't think that I was deserving of the spot that I had. They thought I didn't deserve the spot. So they were trying to undermine me. And that's what happens a lot within the org. People try to undermine your authority. They try to make it look bad. See, because here's the thing. Once the charge come up on Tory, if I don't handle it a certain way, guess what happens? I lose the respect of all the other brothers that's on count. Because now that is favoritism. But because I was close to Tory and a couple of other younger brothers, right? They wanted to use that against me. They wanted to undermine my authority. Once they undermine my authority, then they can take over. Whether they get the position or not. It's not about the position, people. It's not about the position. It's about the respect that the people that you lead give you. Because respect is something that's given. You can't take it. It has to be given freely. And the respect that I had when I was in rotation can't be bought. It can't be bought. And they wanted to undermine that. And they were willing, listen to me, they were willing to watch this young brother get hurt in the process. He was a casualty of war. See, this is something that people won't tell you that goes on in any org. All the undermining and the backbiting and all this and that, right? They ain't gonna tell you that. So they sat there for a minute, and I'm sitting there eating, you know, I got me some crackers too. I like them Ritz crackers, you know what I'm saying? Them round ones. Yeah, I like them Ritz crackers. And sometimes I take them and I get them and I crunch them all up, and I let them go and get into the noodle and the chili, and I whip them up in there, right? And boy, let me tell you something. I felt like I was home sometime eating my grandmama chili. It wasn't as good, but it was close enough. And then I wash it down with one of them nice cold soda pops, you know what I'm saying? Pepsi, Coca-Cola. But look, the Sunkist orange drink, you can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that orange now. I'm telling you now, the orange drink, not that other orange. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Get your mind out the gutter. We ain't talking about that. We done gave that lifestyle up, y'all. You feel what I'm saying? But look here. So the COS, he tell both of them, look, exit the cell. We got to figure out what we're going to do. So they leave the cell, and then I tell my COS, I said, go get Tory. Go bring him in there. See, because I got a bone to pick with him. Because I done told him, quit all that drinking and getting high. So COS bring him into the cell. And he sat down. He don't know at this moment that he's straight. He don't know that yet. So I tell him, I said, sit down, bro. He said, man, bless this cell. I said, that's what's up, bro. You good? He said, no, Joe T, man. He said, man, I don't know what went down, man. I don't know what went down. And I see the tears forming in his eyes like he about to break. I see it. So I'm going to let this thing play out. And I said, okay. I said, look, tell me what happened, man. What do you remember? And I said, don't lie to me. I said, listen to me. Now, you got to keep in mind, I know I'm popping a whip, but he don't know I'm popping a whip. You feel me? I said, look, don't lie to me, man. If you like boys, say you like boys. But you're going to have to go your way. I'm going to make sure ain't nobody going to hurt you. So he jumped up. He said, man, Joe T, man, don't be saying that to me, man. I don't do that. I don't do that, man. I ain't on that. I ain't on that stuff. He said, man, I ain't tripping about it. He said, man, he do like a lot of white folks do when they got, you know what I'm saying, issues with black people. He said, man, my cousin them like that. I ain't got nothing against them and nothing like that. It's just that I ain't on that. I said, bro, sit down, man. Getting all excited. You ain't finna do nothing. Sit down. So he sat back down in the chair. He said, I'm just saying, Joe T, man. I'm just saying, man. I don't know what they got going on, man. I said, who is they? I said, how did you end up in the cell then? He said, man, I was drunk, man, and we down there getting, you know what I'm saying, on that liquor and all this and that. I said, that's all you had, some liquor? He like, no, man, I took me a Valium or two, man, and I was gone. I said, man, ain't I told you? Ain't I told you about doing all that around anybody and everybody? Ain't I told you that? And he put his head down like a little kid. He's shaking his head back and forth. He said, I know, bro, I know. But we was just kicking it. These my folks. These my brothers. They supposed to be looking out for me. Are you saying they wasn't looking out for you? He said, man, something happened. I don't know how I ended up in that cell. I said, you walked in the cell from what everybody telling me. And I said, you know the law. You know what I got to do. And then look, Tory, he's sitting in the chair, right? He got his head down, you know what I mean? And my COS standing behind him, he cracking up. He's smiling, right? And then my COS, he give me that wink, right? And he said, let me ask you something, little folks. Now, he's standing behind folks. Folks try to turn his head around. He said, no, don't turn to look at me. You don't deserve to look at me, right? You know, he messing with him now. He said, look, so you telling me if I go get that boy right now and bring that boy in here, ain't nothing. He said, man, look, you go get that boy right now, man. Whatever I got to do to make this right, man. He said, man, I'm going to hit the boy in the mouth. I said, nah, you ain't finna have him doing that. Telling my COS that, right? Because my COS, he's standing behind him. Tory can't look up behind him, right? Because the COS done told him don't turn his head towards him, right? He cracking up. He cracking up, man, in silence. You know how somebody laughing, but that you can't hear it? Man, he cracking up. And I'm looking at him. I'm trying to hold my composure because he cracking up. He got tears running down his face. For real, because he know Tory is scared to death. And then I take a look at Tory. Now, he's sitting down, right? But he's sitting down in his leg. He up on his tiptoes, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And his legs just constantly bouncing back and forth like a mile a minute. And then I'm looking at him. You know, he got on one of his shirts. And I can see the sweat, the perspiration all up under his armpit. The boy is about to pass out. He don't know what's going on, but he know how I get down like everybody else know how I get down. So the fear is washing all over him. He don't know what to do. He don't know what to think. And he most definitely know he better not play with me. So I tell him, I said, look here, this is what I'm going to do, bro. He said, first of all, you on restriction. I said, first of all, that's me, I'm telling him. I said, first of all, you on restriction. And then my COS telling me, he said, man, no more drinking, no more smoking, no more getting high, no nothing for the next 6 months. Tory like, that's what's up, folks. That's what's up. And then I got one more thing for you too, bro. You know how it is, right? You violate the law. But I didn't do it, Joe T. I didn't do it. He kept screaming at me. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And then I told him, I said, bro, I know you didn't. And he looked up at me. He said, you know I didn't. We done investigated this, man. We know what's going on, right? But you still got to account. You were drunk, and I told you to quit doing that. So I'm going to put you on the bench on all that. Sit down. You can't be doing that. But we finna deal with the individuals that put the cross in on you. He said, what you talking about, bro? I said, and then I told him the two old heads that trying to cross him out and why they tried to cross him out. And he said, man, whatever you do, I want in on it. I said, that ain't going to happen. He said, Joe T, I want in on it. And if you want to know if I let him in on it, you're going to have to tune in to the next episode, right? Because it's about to go down, right? This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all. I've been trying to breathe underwater.